How to Force Your Brain to Do Hard Things in Just 30 Days. Written and published by United Sports. Your brain is not your friend when it comes to hard things. It wants comfort, ease, and instant gratification. The moment you decide to do something difficult, wake up early, study for long hours, go to the gym, or work on your goals, your mind rebels. It whispers excuses, magnifies discomfort, and convinces you to quit before you even start. This is why most people remain stuck, never reaching their full potential. But what if you could force your brain to obey you? What if you could rewire your mind to crave discipline, embrace struggle, and find joy in discomfort? That's exactly what you'll learn in this audiobook, created by United Sports. If you want to master your brain and take full control of your life, keep listening. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to United Sports for more life-changing content. The human brain is designed for survival, not success. It prioritizes safety, comfort, and efficiency. This is why you hesitate before doing something difficult. It's not because you're lazy or weak. It's because your brain is hardwired to avoid unnecessary effort. This is the resistance you feel when trying to start a new habit or break an old one. But here's the truth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. If you always choose the easy path, you will never become stronger, smarter, or better. The first step to forcing your brain to do hard things is understanding that resistance is natural, but it is not an order. It's just a suggestion, and you don't have to follow it. Every time you push past resistance, your brain changes. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, the ability of your brain to rewire itself based on your actions. When you repeatedly choose discipline over comfort, your brain forms new connections, making hard things easier over time. This is why successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems, habits, and repetition. At first, discipline feels painful, but the more you practice it, the more automatic it becomes. What once felt impossible becomes second nature. This is how elite athletes, top performers, and high achievers train their minds. And you can do the same. But here's the catch: your brain won't change overnight. It takes at least 30 days of consistent effort to rewire your thought patterns. This is why most people fail. They expect immediate results, and when they don't see progress fast enough, they give up. But transformation doesn't happen in an instant. It happens through repetition. Just like muscles grow through resistance, your brain strengthens through struggle. If you quit too soon, you rob yourself of the breakthrough that's just around the corner. The secret to success isn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It's consistency and discomfort. Your brain operates on two forces, pain and pleasure. It avoids pain and seeks pleasure at all costs. This is why procrastination, laziness, and distractions feel so tempting. Your brain links hard work with suffering and easy choices with reward. But what if you could flip this system? What if your mind started associating struggle with growth and discipline with success? This is exactly what high performers do. They train their brains to love the process, not just the outcome. The key is to shift your focus from how difficult something feels to how powerful you'll become by doing it. The biggest mistake people make is waiting to feel like doing hard things. This is a trap. Your brain will never want to wake up early, exercise, or work hard. It will always choose the path of least resistance. But discipline is not about feelings, it's about action. You must take action first, and motivation will follow. Think about it. How often have you dreaded a workout, but once you started, you felt good? This is the secret. Action creates momentum. If you rely on motivation, you'll fail. If you rely on action, you'll win. Now, let's talk about self-discipline versus self-control. Most people think they're the same, but they are not. Self-control is resisting temptation in the moment. Self-discipline is designing your environment so you don't need to resist temptation at all. If you constantly have to fight distractions, cravings, or bad habits, you're setting yourself up for failure. The key is to remove the option of failure. If you want to wake up early, put your alarm across the room. If you want to eat healthy, remove junk food from your house. If you want to stay focused, block distractions. Make success easier by eliminating choices that lead to failure. Another powerful strategy is habit stacking. This means attaching a new habit to something you already do. For example, if you struggled at exercise, do push-ups right after brushing your teeth. If you want to read more, place your book on your pillow so you see it before bed. The easier you make a habit, the more likely you are to stick with it. This is how you reprogram your brain, not through willpower alone, but through smart systems that set you up for success. One of the most powerful mental shifts you can make is seeing discomfort as a sign of progress. When something feels hard, most people take it as a sign to stop. But in reality, it's a sign that you're growing. The pain you feel when pushing past limits is proof that your brain is rewiring. If something is difficult, it means you're doing it right. Instead of running from struggle, embrace it. The more you lean into discomfort, the faster you'll grow. And this is where the 30-day rule comes in. If you commit to doing something hard every day for 30 days, your brain will adapt. You will stop fearing effort and start craving it. The first week will be the hardest. Your brain will resist. Your body will complain. You will want to quit. But if you push through, everything will change. By the second week, your mind will start adapting. By the third week, the habit will feel normal. By the fourth week, it will feel effortless. This is how you force your brain to do hard things, by proving to it, through action, that discomfort is not dangerous. In the next part, we will break down the 30-day rule in detail. You'll learn how habits rewire your brain, why most people fail, and how to make sure you don't. The key to success is not magic, it's science. And once you understand how your brain works, you can reprogram it to work for you instead of against you. If you found this powerful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to United Sports, because your journey to greatness is just beginning. The 30-day rule, how habits rewire your brain. The hardest part of doing anything difficult is starting. The brain resists change because it loves routines, even if those routines are unhealthy. This is why most people fail when they try to develop new habits. They start strong, but within a few days, their motivation fades. They fall back into old patterns, believing that change is too hard. But the truth is, their brain is not the problem, their strategy is. If they knew how habits truly work, they would never quit so soon. Habits are like muscles. When you first start using them, they feel weak and untrained. Every action requires effort, and progress is slow. But just like in the gym, the more you train a habit, the stronger it gets. At first, waking up early, working out, or staying focused feels unnatural. Your mind and body resist because they are used to an easier way of living. But if you push through this initial discomfort, something incredible happens, your brain adapts. Scientists have discovered that it takes around 30 days to rewire the brain for a new habit. The first 10 days are the hardest because your brain is still fighting the change. The middle 10 days feel slightly easier, but your mind still craves the old routine. The final 10 days are when the habit starts feeling natural. By the end of 30 days, your brain has accepted the new pattern as its default setting. What once felt impossible becomes automatic. Most people quit in the first week because they expect results too soon. They want instant rewards, but habits don't work that way. The brain changes slowly, through repetition, not overnight miracles. Every time you repeat an action, your brain strengthens the neural pathway for that habit. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. This is why elite performers don't rely on motivation, they rely on consistency. They know that even when they don't feel like doing something, showing up every day is what creates success. The 30-day rule is a test of patience and discipline. It forces you to push past the point where most people give up. When you commit to a habit for 30 days, you remove the option of failure. You don't allow yourself to negotiate with excuses. You train your mind to follow through, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. This is how champions are made, not by talent, but by the ability to stay consistent when others quit. Discipline is like a muscle, and the more you train it, the stronger it gets. At first, doing hard things feels unbearable. But after a few weeks, your brain begins to accept discomfort as normal. What once felt painful becomes routine. This is how people who once hated waking up early now do it effortlessly. This is how people who once struggled with workouts now love the gym. The secret is simple: repetition rewires the brain. To make the 30-day challenge easier, you must remove obstacles in your way. If your phone distracts you, put it in another room. If junk food tempts you, don't buy it. If you struggle to focus, create a clean and quiet environment. The fewer temptations you have, the easier it is to stay disciplined. Success is not about willpower. It's about creating an environment that makes good habits automatic. Another powerful trick is tracking your progress. When you see visible proof of your consistency, your motivation grows. Keep a calendar and mark every day you stick to your habit. Seeing those marks build up will make you want to continue. This is called the Seinfeld strategy, and it works because your brain hates breaking a streak. The longer you stay consistent, the harder it becomes to quit. A common mistake people make is trying to change too many things at once. When you overload your brain with too many new habits, it panics and shuts down. Instead, focus on one major habit at a time. Master it over 30 days, then add another. This is the method top performers use. They don't try to do everything at once, they build momentum one step at a time. Your brain is a learning machine. It adapts to whatever you repeatedly do. If you spend 30 days procrastinating, your brain becomes excellent at avoiding work. If you spend 30 days practicing self-discipline, your brain rewires itself for success. The choice is yours. You are not stuck with the mind you have today. You can train it to become stronger, sharper, and more resilient. One of the most important lessons about habits is that they don't require perfection, only persistence. You don't have to get it right every single time. You just have to show up more times than you fail. Even if you mess up one day, get back on track immediately. Missing once is a mistake. Missing twice is the beginning of a new bad habit. Don't let small failures turn into a permanent setback. The people who succeed in life are not the ones with the most talent. They're the ones who refuse to give up. They understand that progress is invisible in the beginning. They know that change happens in the background, even when it feels like nothing is happening. The key is to keep going when results are not yet visible. This is where most people fail, but this is also where winners are made. Once you cross the 30-day mark, something amazing happens. The habit that once felt forced now feels natural. Your brain stops resisting, and your actions become automatic. This is when success becomes effortless, not because it's easy, but because you've trained your mind to accept hard things as normal. You've reprogrammed yourself for discipline, and now, nothing can stop you. The reason most people stay stuck in life is because they never push past their comfort zone long enough for real change to happen. They start something, struggle, and quit. Then they repeat the cycle again and again, never realizing that success was just on the other side of consistency. If they had only pushed for 30 more days, their entire life could have been different. This is why you must commit. Not for a week, not for 2 weeks, but for a full 30 days. If you do, you will break free from the mental chains holding you back. You will become the kind of person who does hard things without hesitation. And once you unlock this power, no goal will ever feel out of reach again. Now, the next step is mastering dopamine. Most people fail to do hard things because their brain is addicted to instant pleasure. They chase short-term rewards instead of long-term success. But what if you could reprogram your brain to find joy and discipline? In the next part, you will learn how to take control of your brain's reward system so you can turn hard work into something you love instead of something you fear. Your future self is waiting for you. The version of you who wakes up early, stays focused, and dominates life is already inside you. It's just buried under years of bad habits and mental conditioning. The only way to bring that person to life is through consistency. Push through the next 30 days and watch how everything changes. Mastering dopamine, turning discomfort into reward. The reason most people struggle to do hard things is because their brain is addicted to instant gratification. Every time they scroll through social media, binge watch shows, or eat junk food, their brain releases dopamine, the chemical of pleasure. It feels good in the moment, but it makes real progress harder. Why? Because the brain starts craving easy rewards instead of meaningful ones. This is why studying feels boring, working out feels exhausting, and discipline feels impossible. But what if you could control your dopamine? What if you could make your brain crave progress instead of distractions? The secret lies in delayed gratification. High achievers and successful people have trained their minds to find pleasure in hard work. Instead of seeking an easy reward now, they chase bigger rewards later. They understand that true satisfaction doesn't come from shortcuts, it comes from earning success. When you push past resistance, when you struggle, when you stay disciplined, that's when real dopamine should hit. But for most people, their brain is wired the wrong way. They get pleasure from things that keep them stuck. And the only way to change that is to reset their dopamine system. Dopamine isn't bad. It's actually your greatest weapon, if you use it right. Your goal is not to remove dopamine but to redirect it. If you train your brain to feel pleasure when working hard, success becomes automatic. This is why some people enjoy challenges while others run from them. It's not about talent or luck. It's about what their brain associates with pleasure. If you can learn to get dopamine from growth, from discipline, from effort, nothing will stop you. One of the most powerful ways to reset your dopamine is dopamine detox. This means removing all sources of instant pleasure for a short period. No social media, no junk food, no mindless entertainment. When you do this, your brain becomes sensitive to real rewards again. Suddenly, reading a book feels interesting. Exercise feels energizing. Working on your goals feels exciting. You start craving progress instead of distractions. And this is the turning point. Because once your brain enjoys discipline, everything becomes easier. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they need motivation. They wait for the right mood, the right energy, the right inspiration. But motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel like working hard, some days you don't. If you depend on motivation, you will fail. Instead, you must depend on dopamine control. You must teach your brain that discipline is rewarding, that struggle is satisfying, that pain is proof of growth. Once this happens, you won't need motivation. You'll be pulled toward success. Think of your brain like a muscle. If you train it with discipline, it gets stronger. If you feed it with distractions, it gets weaker. Every time you resist an easy pleasure, you build mental strength. Every time you choose progress over comfort, you rewire your brain. And after 30 days of doing this, your mind will transform. Hard things will become automatic. You won't struggle to start, you will struggle to stop. One powerful trick is reward substitution. Instead of seeking pleasure from entertainment, seek it from effort. When you complete a difficult task, give yourself a small reward. This could be listening to your favorite song, enjoying a healthy snack, or taking a short walk. The goal is to connect effort with pleasure. Over time, your brain will crave the work instead of just the reward. Another powerful tool is habit tracking. The brain loves progress. When you see yourself improving, your dopamine spikes naturally. This is why tracking your progress is so important. Keep a journal. Mark your wins. Celebrate small victories. If you can see your growth, your brain will crave more of it. And soon, success will feel addictive. But here's the challenge. The first week will be the hardest. Your brain will resist. It will crave old habits. It will make excuses. But this is when you must push the hardest. Because once you break through that first week, your brain starts adapting. By the second week, discipline becomes easier. By the third week, it starts feeling natural. And by the fourth week, it becomes who you are. Most people quit before their brain adapts. They don't realize that the struggle they feel is actually growth in disguise. The discomfort is not a sign to stop, it's a sign to keep going. Because on the other side of that discomfort is freedom. Freedom from laziness, from distractions, from mediocrity. And once you taste that freedom, you'll never go back. High performers don't have superhuman abilities. They have superhuman discipline. And discipline is just a skill anyone can build. It starts with one decision, to take control of your dopamine. To stop chasing small pleasures and start chasing greatness. Once you make that decision, your brain will follow. One way to make this easier is environment design. Your brain is constantly shaped by what's around you. If your environment is filled with distractions, you will fail. If your environment is designed for discipline, you will succeed. Remove temptations. Set up your space for focus. Make failure inconvenient and success easy. Another game-changing strategy is identity shift. Stop saying, I am trying to be disciplined. Instead, say, I am disciplined. The moment you identify as a person who does hard things, your actions will follow. Your brain wants to stay consistent with your identity. If you see yourself as weak, you will act weak. If you see yourself as strong, you will act strong. So start seeing yourself as the person you want to become. And here's something most people never realize. You already have proof that you can do hard things. Think about your past. There were times when you pushed through pain, when you stayed disciplined, when you achieved something difficult. That is evidence that you are capable. Your brain already knows how to do hard things. You just have to remind it. The fastest way to rewire your brain is to surround yourself with disciplined people. Motivation is contagious. If your environment is filled with lazy, negative people, their mindset will infect you. But if you surround yourself with driven, disciplined people, their energy will push you forward. Change your circle, and you will change your life. The truth is, life will always be hard. But you get to choose your heart. The heart of discipline, or the heart of regret. The heart of pushing through, or the heart of staying stuck. The pain of growth, or the pain of never reaching your full potential. One path leads to greatness. The other leads to disappointment. Which one will you choose? If you master your dopamine, you will master your mind. If you master your mind, you will master your life. The choice is yours. Stay stuck in distractions, or step into discipline. Keep chasing comfort, or chase the best version of yourself. The power is in your hands. In the next part, we will uncover the power of discipline over motivation. You'll learn why relying on motivation is a mistake and how true self-mastery comes from consistent action. The power of discipline over motivation. Motivation is like a spark. It burns bright, but it fades fast. It makes you feel excited at the beginning, but the moment things get tough, it disappears. That's why so many people start strong but never finish. They rely on motivation, thinking it will carry them to success. But motivation is not reliable. It comes and goes. The real secret to doing hard things is not motivation, it's discipline. Discipline is the ability to take action even when you don't feel like it. It is the power to show up, no matter how tired, unmotivated, or uninspired you feel. Successful people don't wait for motivation. They don't rely on feelings. They rely on habits, routines, and systems that make action automatic. This is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who only dream. The strongest minds in the world are not built by talent or intelligence. They are built by consistency, doing the hard things day after day, without excuses. The brain resists discipline at first because it craves comfort. But the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes part of your identity. You stop thinking about whether you want to do it. You just do it. Most people fail because they think discipline is about force. But true discipline is not about pushing harder. It's about removing the option of failure. If you struggle to wake up early, set multiple alarms. If you get distracted by your phone, put it in another room. If you struggle to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before. When you design your environment for success, you don't have to fight your brain, you train it. The most powerful shift happens when you start seeing discipline not as suffering, but as freedom. Discipline gives you control over your life. When you master it, you no longer depend on motivation, willpower, or inspiration. You act because it's who you are. This is when success becomes inevitable. The more disciplined you become, the easier life gets. While others are trapped in bad habits and distractions, you are building a life of purpose and strength. The reason most people never reach their potential is simple: they quit too soon. They expect fast results. They want success without struggle. The truth is, growth takes time. It takes repetition. It takes consistency, even when you see no results. Every day you show up, you are making progress, even if you don't feel it. Small actions, repeated over time, create massive results. The only way to fail is to stop trying. Your mind is a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. If you let it control you, it will keep you weak. If you take control, it will serve you. Every time you push through resistance, you are teaching your brain a new lesson. You are proving to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. This is how you build confidence, not by waiting to feel ready, but by proving through action that you are capable. One of the biggest myths about discipline is that it makes life harder. In reality, it makes life easier. A disciplined person doesn't waste time on distractions. They don't battle themselves over every decision. They have a system, a plan, and a clear direction. While others are stuck in cycles of regret and procrastination, they are moving forward. Discipline is not about restriction, it's about control. It's about choosing who you want to be every single day. If you want to change your life, start with small wins. Wake up at the time you set. Complete your workout, no matter how short. Stick to your schedule, even when it's inconvenient. Every small act of discipline builds momentum. Every small victory strengthens your identity. Over time, these small wins turn into habits, and habits shape your future. The key is to start small but stay consistent. Your future is being built by your daily habits. Success is not one big moment. It's the result of thousands of small decisions made consistently over time. If you want to be fit, you must train every day. If you want to be smart, you must learn every day. If you want to be successful, you must work every day. Your life is a reflection of what you do consistently, not what you do occasionally. The most dangerous mindset is waiting for the right time to start. There is no perfect time. There will never be a moment where everything is easy. If you keep waiting, you will wait forever. The only way to grow is to start now, even if you don't feel ready. Action creates momentum. Once you start moving, motivation will follow. The world rewards those who take action, not those who just think about it. Every day you delay, someone else is taking the opportunities you are ignoring. Success is not given. It is earned through effort, patience, and consistency. The only way to guarantee failure is to do nothing. The only way to guarantee progress is to show up every day and put in the work. If you want to make discipline effortless, attach it to your identity. Stop saying, "I want to be disciplined." Instead, say, "I am disciplined." When you start seeing yourself as a person who always follows through, your actions will match your identity. Your mind is powerful. If you believe you are disciplined, you will act accordingly. One of the best lessons in discipline is learning to embrace discomfort. Growth happens outside of comfort. Every time you push through pain, you get stronger. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you level up. If you always choose the easy path, you will always remain the same. If you want to transform, you must be willing to struggle. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to build strength. Instead of avoiding hard things, lean into them. If something scares you, do it. If something feels difficult, practice it. The things you avoid are usually the things that will make you grow the most. Your greatest breakthroughs will come from your biggest struggles. Most people want success without discipline, but that's impossible. Discipline is the foundation of all achievement. Without it, talent is wasted. Without it, intelligence means nothing. Without it, dreams remain just dreams. If you master discipline, nothing will be out of reach. It is the ultimate superpower that separates the winners from the quitters. But discipline is not something you are born with, it is something you build. It is a skill, just like any other. The more you practice, the better you get. If you struggle with discipline now, don't worry. Start small, stay consistent, and over time, it will become second nature. One day, you will look back and realize that the things you once struggled with are now effortless. The key to winning is not how hard you work once, it's how consistently you work every day. If you truly want to transform, commit to 30 days of discipline. Do something difficult every single day, no matter how small. Train your mind to obey you. Teach yourself that quitting is not an option. If you do this, you will build a level of self-control that most people never reach. The next part will focus on overcoming mental barriers and self-doubt, because discipline alone is not enough if your mind is filled with doubt and negativity. You will learn how to silence the voices that tell you you're not good enough and break through the mental blocks that hold you back. Overcoming mental barriers and self-doubt. The biggest battle is not with the world, it is with the mind. Every person who has ever achieved something great had to fight against their own doubts, fears, and limitations. The hardest part of doing anything difficult is not the work itself, but the mental barriers that try to stop you before you even begin. The voice in your head that says, "What if I fail?" or "I'm not good enough," is the only thing standing between you and success. But here's the truth, that voice is a liar. It is not reality. It is just fear trying to keep you small. Self-doubt is the #1 killer of dreams. It whispers that you are not smart enough, strong enough, or talented enough.